question number 2. Y equals x plus 2 squared minus 1. Y equals x squared minus 4x minus 5. And what I want you to do is I want you to solve this system. I want you to solve it algebraically. Now, this is actually quite the gift from the mathematical gods. We have y equaling something and y equaling something. So since y equals this and y equals this, that means these two things have to equal each other as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to set those things equal to each other and we're going to solve for x algebraically. So x plus 2 squared minus 1 equals x squared minus 4x minus 5. I'm going to expand this one out, so that becomes x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus 1. This is this part here, and this minus 1 is minus 1 here. X squared minus 4x minus 5. I just need to do some simplification here with this constant term. X squared plus 4x plus 3 equals x squared minus 4x minus 5. I want to set one of these sides equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract x squared, add 4x, and subtract 5 from both sides. X squared minus x squared is nothing. 4x plus 4x is 8x. 3 plus 5 is plus 8 equals, and 0 is left on this side. This isn't a quadratic. Remember in the last question it was a quadratic, and then we could use the discriminant to figure out how many solutions there are. Well, since this is not a quadratic equation, we know that there's only going to be one solution. So we cannot use the discriminant to solve whether or not there's one root, two roots, or 0 roots. Since we have a linear equation, we know that there's always going to be one solution. So under normal circumstances or under certain circumstances, what we could do here is we could use the discriminant because we've set them equal to each other, we've set one side equal to 0, but there's nothing to know because we know that lines only will have one intersection spot unless they're perpendicular, which that doesn't really work out in parabolas because the slope is changing all the time. So 8x equals negative 8, x equals negative 1. Again, there's only one solution. So we have the x-coordinate of the solution. Now what do we need to do? We need to figure out what that y part is. What I would do is I would consider which equation is easier to plug into. I would say this one is, because I just need to plug in my x once. Here I would have to be x squared minus 4x. Okay, there's only one place to substitute here. So I'm going to give this guy a number 1. So sub x equals negative 1 into equation 1. Y equals negative 1 plus 2 squared minus 1. Y equals negative 1 squared minus 1. Y equals 1 minus 1. Y equals 0. So if I were to give the solution as coordinate points, I would say the solution is at negative 1 for my x-coordinate, comma 0 for my y-coordinate. And we're done.